Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the mountains, there was a young man named Max. Max had grown up in a religious family and had always been taught that God was the foundation of everything. He attended church every Sunday and was a devout believer. But as Max grew older, he began to question his faith. He studied science in school and was fascinated by the way the world worked. He couldn't reconcile the stories he had learned in church with the scientific facts he was discovering. One day, Max decided to take a walk in the mountains to clear his head. As he hiked up the steep path, he thought about all the things he had been taught about God. Suddenly, he heard a loud crash and felt the ground shake beneath his feet. When he looked up, he saw a bolt of lightning strike a nearby tree, splitting it in two. Max was shaken by the experience, but he also felt a sense of clarity. He realized that the lightning was a natural phenomenon caused by the buildup of static electricity in the atmosphere. It wasn't an act of God, but rather a scientific event that could be explained and understood. From that moment on, Max began to question everything he had been taught about religion. He read books and talked to people who had different beliefs than he did. He realized that there were many different ways of understanding the world, and that none of them were necessarily right or wrong. Eventually, Max came to the conclusion that there was no one true way of understanding the world. He believed that each person had to find their own path and their own truth, and that there was no need to rely on an external force like God to guide them. And so, Max embraced a new philosophy, that God was dead. Not in the literal sense, but in the sense that the idea of God as a guiding force had become outdated and unnecessary. He felt free to explore the world and his own beliefs without the constraints of religion. In the end, Max found that his journey of self-discovery was more rewarding than anything he had ever learned in church. He realized that the world was a complex and beautiful place, and that there was so much to learn and explore. And he knew that he would continue to seek knowledge and understanding for the rest of his life.